Hey guys, Rossrick here for another knife video. Actually, this is a video over two knives. One is my reproduction M1918 trench knife, and the second is my Smith & Wesson Borderguard. So we're going to take a look at the trench knife first. Now, I got this reproduction trench knife off of a website called keepshooting.com after it had been out of stock for a few months. I had to jump on it before it went out of stock again. I got this one instead of the one that's being sold on budk.com. This seems far superior in quality. And just it was about the same price, so let's go ahead and take a look. Now, this knife came in a very big package, the priority mail package that was about this big, even though the box was only about this big, which is a little bit odd. And it came with the knife itself and then a very nice metal scabbard with a rather cheap snap fastener. But that's a minor complaint. Now this is a pretty basic knife. It's made out of 440 steel. It's made in China with a what I assume to be bronze handle and then a conical nut on the end, just like the original knives. However, this differs from the originals in that it does not have a chemically blackened finish to reduce glare. Now this is a pretty solid knife. It feels really good in the hand. It feels really nice for thrusting. It's got this little place to put your thumb for the thrust. You can slash. It's got a nice double edge. It's pretty sharp. I used it to peel and eat an orange. And then it's got a spike on the bottom, so you can use it as like a skull crusher, and then it has, of course, the brass knuckles. These ridges are actually to prevent someone from grabbing your knife hand, but you can also use it to punch. So it's a pretty vicious little knife. So, and I got this for about $25 plus shipping, which isn't too bad. The originals are really hard to find, and I don't feel like paying $500 to $1,000 for a knife. I mean, this could be you could either use this as a display piece or actual combat knife. Although, because it's got a 7-inch blade, you can't just go and carry this around with you. So overall, it's really nice. It feels really good in your hand. Although, if you're actually a real knife expert, you can see why they replaced this with the M3 trench knife. You're kind of limited in your fighting style and your grip style. There's pretty much only one way to grip it, unless you're ambidextrous, which is just like this. The way the knife is molded, it's you actually can't really get a comfortable grip on it like that. You actually have to use your left hand. So overall, it's a pretty neat piece. And I had to actually tighten the nut on there. It's not exactly straight, but at least the blade is on there tightly. It doesn't wobble around. It's pretty nice. And then it fits snugly into the sheath. My only complaint is these fake leather tabs right here. They feel a little bit flimsy. Actually, they've started to crack a little bit, so I might have to replace those. So, well, that's that. Then my second knife is a knife I actually carry with me. It's a Smith & Wesson Borderguard spring-assisted survival knife. It's got, like I said, it's got a spring assist. It's got a 4.5-inch blade, very sharp, and it's got serrations near the bottom of it, which is pretty useful for cutting. And then it has a feels like a sand-coated grip, some type of adhesive mixed with sand. Feels pretty solid, and it's actually got a nice balance to it. And this is a very, very sharp knife. And then some cool features, as this is a survival knife, is this is labeled as a seatbelt cutter. It's got a little razor right in there. And then it has a little point for smashing windows. Like, say if you're in a car and you're in a flood and you need to get out, or you need to break some kind of glass, this will actually enable you to do that. And then with the seatbelt cutter, if you need to get out in a hurry, I don't see why you wouldn't take your seatbelt off, but you can just use it to cut your seatbelt. And then this knife is actually short enough to be carried legally. So my brother actually has one of these, and this is what motivated me to get it. However, his just has a straight blade on it. So It's actually, this is a really good knife. I highly recommend it. They're incredibly inexpensive. They're on eBay for about $23 with free shipping. And these knives are built pretty good. I mean, they should last a good length of time on you. And if they break, say, and it's not too expensive to replace them, I'd choose this over a buck knife or just one of those crappy knives that you see at Walmart or that you see the people in Realtree Camo carrying. Just really nice. The blade unfolds really fast, and it's just a great little knife. So, and then, oh, while I'm on the subject of knives, I think I'll finally review my AK bayonet. I got these because I've handled them. They seem pretty solid and dependable. And I actually got this for about 25 bucks. And the cool part is both the scabbard and the knife itself have matching numbers. It's actually SAG4292 right here on the scabbard and on the blade of the knife. Though I might be getting rid of this because I've been wanting to get an AK, but just the prices are way too much. I mean, $500 plus for an AK, even a used AK, is a bit much for me. I mean, I've got my SKS with an attached bayonet, and it's a lot more accurate, and I've got the Pro Mag 30-round magazines. And I've got a few other knives at my disposal. So the only feature of this bayonet that would cause me to keep it around, it's got a wire cutter on it, which is pretty neat. I've got one of those Leatherman tools, but you just never know when that might come in handy. This thing's always a pain to get right. Yeah, there we go. And there's your wire cutter right there. And I also have to say, I got the bayonet frog for it, and I'm really disappointed. I was hoping it would be the type of frog where it keeps it solidly on your belt so that you can draw the bayonet one-handed. But this thing, it's too loose. I mean, I'd be afraid to try and pull it out one-handed. The whole thing would come apart on me. It's not like the Gurkha knife or my kukri knife or even this trench knife or my Borderguard. This, actually, you need to probably use both hands in order to get it out. And it's actually packed pretty tightly inside the sheath, so you really got to muscle it out there. However, this has a nice solid feel to it. This is something that won't break. I mean, this is probably a knife that could even go through body armor. And it's just a very thick, rigid piece of steel. I have to admit, it's not particularly sharp. Maybe I need to sharpen it, but it'd probably be sharp enough to cut wire or rope or whatever you need to. It's got this little sawback. It's a neat little bayonet. And it's essential if you have an AK, but I just got it for the novelty value. So I think that's pretty much it for my knife reviews. If I come along anything else, which I probably will, I'll be getting my P1907 sword type bayonet for my Ishapur 2A. I might just put that in with the update on the rifle itself, but who knows? Maybe I'll have a nice sword bayonet video for you guys. So just hope you guys like this video. Please make sure to comment and subscribe.